Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to my channel, My Miraculous Life. My name is Michael Paul, Mike Peasy, whatever you know me as. I just wanted to tell you, guess what? I seriously followed you the other day. I know, I didn't, it sounds creepy, but I just wanted to give you a gift. But you kept avoiding me, and I was like, bam, 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 trying to honk at you, and you weren't looking at me. So, you know what I did? I just threw it out the window. The name of today's video is, are you ready? Through the Storm in the Sea. Hence why I chose this background. I love the ocean. I do. You know what I don't like though? I hate all the sand. It's like the worst part of the beach, right? When you're like, you really get everywhere, especially on my nerves. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's break it down. Storms. We all go through storms in our life. Right now, I'm talking metaphorically. And some of you might be going through a storm right now in your life, where it seems like the boat's teetering, it's tottering, right? Now, before we get into all that, let's talk about what causes storms in our lives. And what does this mean, storms, Michael? I mean, the crisis moments in your life. The moments where you're stretched as far as you can to see what you're actually made of. The moments where you feel like, man, I'm really just about to give up right now. It's taking too much out of me. And you go through these problems. Sometimes some things you can control in your life. Some things like, I don't know, let me see. Your weight gain, you can control that. Some things like if you're unhappy at your job, you can control that. Your anger, you can control that. So those things that get us into hot water, that start the storm to boil up and get the weather going and the winds blowing, especially in an argument, right? Or a heated exchange with somebody, a disagreement. Then the storm starts to happen, right? Have you ever seen a tornado start? It's pretty phenomenal. You see the winds just come together, magically coexist at the right moment, at the right time. Perfect storm of the right elements that just create, pure, furious destruction that sabotage and destroy people's lives. And so it is with the crises in our life, the storms in our life. So how do these storms weather in different? See, everybody goes through storms in your life, especially on the ocean. The ocean is your life. It's the world, right? But it depends what kind of boat you're in, right? If you're in like a little mini boat and you're in a little canoe or paddle boat and you're trying to survive out here, you tell me how long it'll be before the water just takes you over. Life takes you over and knocks you off. Another one would be what size boat do you have? Let's say you have a giant army battleship and you cannot be sunk no matter what storm comes your way. I just did a video about having the right anchor in your life. So coming here to this beach is not just coincidence for me, but it's God telling me that I'm trying to talk to somebody out there. And I don't know if you're that somebody that's willing to listen to what it is I have to say right now. Is that the storms in our life, they can make us or break us. You can't avoid the storm sometimes. It comes in and it ravagely changes your life, like something you can't control, like a family member beginning to be ill, a loss in your family, a horrible divorce, separation from your children, doubting your own abilities, losing your job, getting injured, having no money. These are all great examples of storms in our lives as human beings. Now, how do you deal with the storm? How do you deal with it? Like, be honest. You see, there's plenty of different ways that people cope, that they find coping mechanisms to try to make themselves feel better. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, what they do is just try to avoid the storm at all costs. And we always pray sometimes, God, take me away from this. Get me out of this. What did I do to deserve this? Am I not a good person? Have I done wrong in some sort of area to deserve this bad stuff that's happening to me in my life? Right? But then sometimes what you don't realize is that the storm is meant for you. it's meant for you to go through. And sometimes it may feel like you're once alone and you're trying to figure this out, and that's probably what's been happening a lot of the time. You either try to find an outlet in alcohol, in women or men, or attention seeking, and we end up doing these things that in the end are just horrible choices that lead us to more storms. Now, I want to help you out here. I'm going to help you see clearly here for a second. Is that there was Jesus' disciples, so his main group of guys. For those of you that don't know, like, these are the people that followed him for like everywhere he went. They were his closest of his homies. Some of them were actually blood related. It was a lot for him, right? So 12 guys, right? They followed him. One day they were on a boat on a destination leading to somewhere that they had planned. And the storm starts to stir up at night. And it starts to get more violent. And it begins to rage. And all the while, Jesus is taking a nap. And he's taking a nap, sleeping through this storm. And all of the disciples are freaking out. They're like, dude, we can't control the boat. It's starting to waver. Everybody, I can imagine, like, pull the sails. Throw the mibob off the shindig. I don't know boat stuff. Throw it at the tail end. This is going wonkas. I'm pretty sure none of them spoke like that, but in my head, sailor talk, right? And they're going crazy, trying to figure all this out. And for a moment, they decide, we should wake them up because we're about to die. Like, we're all gonna die right now in this storm and have to swim for our lives to survive. So Jesus, I'm pretty sure he was awake. Like, he's God, right? Pretty sure he peeked open his eye a couple times, see what they were gonna do, see how much faith they had, see how much trust they had. He gets up and they tell him, wake up, wake up. He gets up, he tells the winds, peace. And the winds stop blowing and the storm just stops. They had seen a lot of things that he had done already, but they couldn't believe that this man could even control the weather as well. And so it is with what I'm telling you. That this life is filled with storms and mayhem and chaos. But through it all, and it may feel like you're alone and you're panicking. You don't know what's going to be the outcome of this. You're trying to control it. You want to make sure that you don't have to swim to survive and end up at the lowest of the low that other people would terribly fear to be the end of their life, right? Just know that God is with you. He's just pretending to take a nap right now. And in the right moment, trust him that he's going to tell the storm in your life, peace, be still. Because he is with you and he does control the storm. But some storms you need to go through. You have to go through them. It's like growing pains. It's like, I remember, I'm not very tall, so I didn't have a lot of growing pains. But I remember when my legs would hurt, and it was this pain that was necessary for me to feel in order to reach the height that I needed to be at, right? And so it is with life. Sometimes you're going to be stretched to the furthest point you have. And don't be praying, God, take me out of this storm. God, take me out of this storm. Save me. Oh God, why is it so horrible to me? You're not a victim. Stop putting that in your mind that everybody's out to get you, it's for you. Because as long as you keep that mentality of a victim, the longer you'll never be able to escape to reach your full destiny and potential as a person. So I wanted to tell you, God is with you in the storm. Don't be a little canoe throwing itself, being tossed around by these raging waves. Be a strong, sturdy ship that cannot be sunk. Because Jesus is with you on the boat. He's with you. Just know that he's going through the storm with you. He's not watching you go through the storm. He's like a father that watches his kids here at the beach. And I recorded that, and I'm glad that I recorded that because it's the same way that God looks at you. He watches you have fun in life. He watches you get knocked down by the waves sometime when you go out here to play. But you get right back up, right? And don't let guilt or your past mistakes overwhelm your today, because that's part of the winds blowing to create this never-ending storm for you. It's like when you get in the water here, right? Have you ever gotten in the water at the beach and sand gets all over your feet, right? It's like muddy sand. Like, what happens when the water comes? It washes the sand away and it leaves your feet extremely clean. But all the while that is happening, it feels like you're sinking into the earth, right? And that's how it is. Just know that this part of this cleansing for your life, this washing away of whatever it is that you have to go through right now, it's all the while. And did you ever sink into the earth? I don't know anybody that's gone to the beach and just sunk into the earth like that. So while you're on this storm, make sure that you hold true, you have trust, you have confidence in the Lord, and that this is all meant for you to have to go through.